Hi everyone. So recently I went to Taiwan on my own for 2 weeks, a few weeks ago, and there's a lot of different things that I learned along the way, and there's a lot of different things I would do differently. I actually made a whole video about this. I'll link it above and below, so don't forget to check that out as well. So this video is going to be about why you should definitely go solo traveling if you haven't already, or sort of like the truth about solo traveling. So I've got a whole big list of different things I want to talk about based on my experiences. I've only been on one solo trip, but I've definitely learned a lot along the way, and I've come to realize a lot of different things. So let's get into the video. Don't forget to subscribe. So the first thing is you can do absolutely whatever you want because you only got yourself to worry about and look after. You can get up when you want, you can go and eat when you want, you can see what you want, you can do what you want. Absolutely everything is up to you. If one day you just feel like laying around doing nothing because you're feeling really tired, you can do that. You can get up and take as long as possible to get ready, and that's what I found great about being on my own, is that I didn't have to worry about like, oh shit, I better hurry up and get my shit sorted because that person's waiting for me, or I didn't have to think, oh, I don't want to go there, I'm not really bothered about going there, but I've got to go because that person wants to go. You can just do what you want, and it's such a great feeling just being able to go off and do whatever you want without having to worry about what the other person thinks or how they're feeling or their opinions and all that sort of thing. But yeah, that's probably the most exciting thing about solo traveling, is just being able to do whatever you want. The next thing is you just meet so many cool different people from different parts of the world, and you get to hear about their culture and their lives. I met a girl called Shreya in Taipei, and I got to hear about her life in India and what it's like there, and just like the cultural side of things, and you know, relationships and all that sort of thing. It was just so interesting hearing about that, and I've always wanted to go to India, but it makes me want to go even more because she was telling about all these places she went solo on her own in India. And also we relate a lot because we're both females, and solo travel can sometimes be quite daunting, so it was good to hear like her opinions and her experiences. I've also mentioned this in my other video, but half the fun about traveling on your own is, you know, being in that country and experiencing that country. The other half is meeting really cool people from different countries and hearing all about their lives and their culture and making friends all over the world. The third thing is I feel that you're a lot more approachable when you're on your own. I don't know if this was specific to Taiwan because people are just super friendly there, and it's not like a very touristy place, so people were intrigued by tourists, I guess, maybe. But I always felt like because I was on my own and I was a female, people tend to speak to me a lot more. I had so many instances where like ladies would just be like, oh, are you traveling on your own? Like, where are you from? All that sort of thing. And like these 3 Japanese ladies who were tourists there as well were like, oh, what are you doing? Like, who are you with? And it was also the same for other travelers as well. I realized is that a lot of other solo travelers feel more comfortable approaching me because I'm by myself and they're by themselves. Whereas I feel like sometimes when you see people in a couple or a group, you just tend to not even bother. It's more intimidating, a group of people or 2 people. So that's the good thing about being on your own, is that you're more open to new experiences and meeting new people. Whereas say if I was with my boyfriend, I don't think a lot of people would have spoken to me or approached us as much. Then the next thing is quite similar to the thing I just said before, is that when you're on your own, you're not distracted by the person that you're with or other people that you may have traveled with. I feel like your eyes just open up to so much more, and you won't be distracted sort of talking to that other person and only being in your own little bubble almost. Not that that person's like distracting and you wouldn't want to be there with them, but you just see a lot more and you take a lot more in when you're just on your own. If you're just sitting there not talking, you sort of think a lot more, and traveling on your own and traveling with someone is a whole different experience. I've never experienced it like this before, and it's just so different to when you're with someone. And I feel like, will it change the way I travel when I'm with someone? Will I be more open to seeing what's around me? It's really changed the way I think about travel. It's made me realize I'm so much more capable than what I thought I was, and I just really need to trust myself a lot more, because traveling solo just wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I wasn't necessarily nervous to go over there, like I was super excited and didn't feel anxious at all because I've traveled quite a lot. But then when I got there, and then I also realized I didn't have to plan as much because I planned everything, and I realized that, you know, I didn't really need to plan it all. I could just go on there and just gone with the flow and booked things and done things and met people and took suggestions from people and just trusted myself and other people to sort of help me along the way. And you realize you don't need anyone with you to be able to do that. You can just do it on your own. And if you're stuck, all you have to do is just ask someone, ask a local, ask a traveler that you see, and it's not that bad. You figure it out. And if something were to go wrong, it's only yourself that just has to sort it out. I always feel like when I'm with someone, I actually stress out a lot more because I'm worried about what they're gonna think and what they're gonna do and how they're gonna react. So sometimes when you're with someone else, you sort of just trust each other, and you sort of think, oh well, we'll figure it out when it happens, and we'll just ask each other what we think we should do. Whereas when I'm on my own, I thought about it a lot more, about what I should do if something goes wrong, which made me feel relaxed. But then I think if you're with someone and it just happens, you're like, ah! Also, along with that, it gives you a lot of time to reflect and think. You know when people say they're gonna go traveling on their own because they're gonna find themselves? It's kind of like quite a true statement, even though it sounds kind of corny. Like, I didn't go on this trip to find myself, but it does make you think about what you want in life, because you do have a lot of time on your own to sort of think. Like if you're on a bus for an hour, you just sit there and think about all these different things and think about who you might miss back home, and like what you want to do when you get back home, or you might think about where you'd like to go next. You've just got so much time to think about all these different things and stuff like that, and it's made me realise, travelling alone, how much I really did miss Joel. And I'm not sure if I could travel alone for a long time, but I don't know if I could do that now. I don't know if I could be from home that long. Like, I think I'd miss like my home comforts. It's made me realise I think I like having a home, and I like being able to come home and have my own space. So it made me think about all those different things, about what I wanted and what I miss and what I like and all that sort of thing. And it's just made me appreciate things more. So I think that's all the points I want to cover. So I hope this has helped you if you're going to go solo traveling, and it gives you a little insight on why you should go solo traveling and what it's like based on my experiences. So yeah, don't forget to check out the other video about solo traveling and all my other Taiwan videos, and subscribe. And there's a woman out there and she's probably going to see me talking to a camera, so I'm going to go now. Bye!